At Cape Town International Airport ahead of the arrival of British murder accused Shrien Dewani. The 33-year-old is due to land this morning and then be whisked off to court for a brief appearance. Dewani allegedly masterminded the murder of his wife Anni while on honeymoon in the mother city in November 2010. Let's cross now live to Nomawethu Solwandle. She's at the Cape Town International Airport. Nomawethu, a very good morning to you. Thanks again for your time. At what time exactly are we expecting Shrien Dewani to land in South Africa?
A very good morning to you, Ayanda. Indeed, after 3 years, Shrien Dewani is expected to touch down at the Cape Town International Airport. Now, if I refer to the notice board behind me, it says a plane from London, a BA flight, will arrive just before 10 o'clock this morning. Now, we arrived here at about 6 o'clock this morning, and already there was a small media contingent, mostly locals, that had started to gather here at international arrivals. But we're not sure if Shrien Dewani will actually come out of these sliding doors behind me like every normal person that comes out of an international flight. But to tell us more about this story, we are now joined by Mthunzi Mhaga, who is the Department of Justice spokesperson. Thank you so much for joining us, Mthunzi. Just take us through the process, the extradition process until now.
Of importance is the fact that the 3-year taxing journey that we had to traverse was worth it, given the fact that now today we are here to receive him. He left London on a flight at 21 hours and we expect him between 8 and 9. Upon his arrival, he's going to be escorted by law enforcement to the Western Cape High Court, where he will be formally charged with conspiracy to murder, and defeating the ends of justice. And he will be processed, after which at 11:30 we expect him to make his first appearance in a South African court of law.
Just now, to take us through, do we know who Dewani will be arriving with here at the airport? We understand that he'll be examined at the Falkenberg Hospital, but will he be bringing his own psychologist at this stage or not?
With him on his flight is a medical doctor, a nurse, and law enforcement officers from South African Police and Interpol, because remember, we work with Scotland Yard, we work with Interpol and South African Police. Now, we don't want to compromise his security. We don't want to compromise the security of those that are accompanying him, which is why also on his arrival, he's going to be escorted to the court, after which then, but subject to endorsement by the court, he will be kept at a medical facility because he is suffering from high depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. There will be an examination, of course, by South African psychiatrists to satisfy themselves of his medical condition. And the court, the trial court, will have to make a pronouncement based on that examination report. But that process will unfold as soon as he makes his appearance in the Western Cape High Court at 11:30.
You talk about examination. I mean, there have been so many delays in this case already. Just tell us how are we... Do you know how long it's going to take for this examination process, and then he'll be deemed that he is indeed fit enough to stand trial?
Of importance is the fact that the 3 years of a protracted legal process, we knew very well when we started the process that it's going to be quite a lengthy and involved process. Now, the British doctors have confirmed his sickness, but that court doesn't necessarily have the jurisdiction to make a pronouncement on whether or not he is fit to stand trial and face the charges, because they will not be the trial court, which is why now in South Africa, upon landing, a South African psychiatrist must make an independent, credible assessment of his condition, and hopefully he will recover well enough so that when that report is finalized, is presented to court, hopefully he will be declared fit to stand trial, because remember, we have 3 accused persons that are already sitting in jail for these charges. Therefore, it's only fair that he has this day in a South African court. But we've put measures in place to ensure that his return to our country is a smooth one.
Mthunzi, I know that I might be pushing it just a little bit, but in terms of bail, do we know that he'll be applying for bail today or not? And if he does, what happens then?
I'll exercise restraint in commenting on that, because that's the purview of the prosecuting authority. I don't want to encroach on their terrain. But Every accused person on a first court appearance, he has a right to legal representation, he has a right to also apply for a bail. We don't know what is going to happen today. Only the NPA, the legal representative of Mr. Dewani, and Judge President Hlophe, before whom Mr. Dewani will appear, know all those details.
Thank you very much. Well, that is the spokesperson of the Department of Justice, Mthunzi Mhaga, telling us more what's going to happen when Shrien Dewani, after 3 years, touches down here at the Cape Town International Airport. Now, I did tell you earlier that according to the notice board behind me, that a plane from London is expected to touch down here at the Cape Town International Airport at 9:56 this morning. Now, looking at those sliding doors just behind me, this is where people actually come through after getting off an international flight. But we're not sure. I mean, he spoke about a lot of security around Shrien Dewani, so we're not sure whether he'll actually come through these sliding doors where everyone actually comes out. So we will bring you that story as it unfolds throughout the day. But for now, it's back to you in the studio.